The Hangout is live. 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 It's live. I'm going to have a glass of wine. It's a very old bottle. I don't know if it's any good anymore. I opened it probably 2-3 weeks ago. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'll toss it because it's really not that important. What's up, Techie Dad? Can you actually hear it through the mic? I think it's screaming. Here, let me assist the sound quality. I'm hoping the little blast deflector here is deflecting some of it. Because, man, that thing's loud. I forgot how loud them things were without the... Here, you know what? Yeah, well, it's basically the same thing. It's just bigger. You know what? Why don't you come in here, Techie Dad? Copy. Come here, B. Close. Jump on in here. I'm going to have to put my headphones on. Oh, there's the... Probably should make my bed, too. And wait. Okay, what do I do with my headphones? Here they are. Jump in here, Techie Dad. I just gave you the link. You know how to do Hangouts, right? Oh, yeah, turn them on before I can use them. I cannot hear a thing with that thing running. These are not noise-canceling headphones, unfortunately. They help a little, though. That thing is screaming. I'm going to put the mic over here so it blocks more. Gets it farther away. Hey, there he is. What's up, dude? There we go. Mic over here so it blocks more. Gets it farther away. Oh, you got the, you got to turn your sound off on you.
All right, there we go.
Do the pop out the chat thing and then screw the regular window. So how the hell did you get the ANET screen to work on another board? And what other board?
Oh, let's see, which one did I get it on? Because I was doing a lot of just testing.
I think that's my problem is.
Right now, it's not connected to anything. But I was able to somewhat get it to work on. When was that? Well, it was on the original Tronxy X5S board.
Yeah, see, the Tronxy board and the ANET board are the same board.
Well,
they're Melzy boards.
Yeah, the pins are
isn't
hair different.
Yeah, but it's a Melzy board. Tronxy actually uses the ANET screen, come to find out. I've been researching this for like the last 2 days. Tronxy actually uses ANET's setup for the screen. They actually use their screen, which they're both a copy of the riprap high display, or it's not the standard one, but it's a discount, full graphics discount display. But the pins are different.
Yeah, just enough, and it threw me off because, like, on my E10, originally, I mean, this is the original screen for it, but I couldn't get my VL Touch to work for anything, and I even swapped because it has the same exact board from an A8, and that's where I had the VL Touch working. I couldn't get it to work, and then I finally stumbled across a video, and it was like, oh, well, it's because this screen takes over pin 27 that I was using, and now you have pin 29. I was like, well, crap. So I just put the 5 button back and let it run that instead. But right now it's extra. But yeah, I still couldn't get it to work when I swapped boards until because of the ANET specific one that does just a few other pins different. I couldn't get it to work back on there on the Melzy screen or the Melzy selection,
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was a pain.
See, I've been reading a lot, and they say you can get it to work using the Ramps 1.4 board. The problem is this board that I'm using right now is my original out of the Max Micron, which is, I was pushing it using a Ramps 1.3. It's actually like a MKS knockoff, but it's really not. You have to still use the Ramps. It's an all-on-one board. It's not you can't change out the drivers.
Yeah.
So it's wicked old. I mean, it's 2015, I think, is when I got it. 2014. It's the original board it's the first computer or printer board that Max Micro was the first printer I ever got, other than my M3D Micro, which I don't count that as a printer. I count that as a 6 months of learning.
Yeah, I mean that was actually my very, very first printer. I think I got one of the first few batches, like straight out of Kickstarter.
Yeah,
and it was great for like the first 10 prints, and then after that, it was just steadily going downhill. And I
ended up with 3 of them because I threatened to sue them. Because the first one I bought it for myself for a Christmas present back when. Just after they came out of the Kickstarter and they went to a commercial box is when I bought it. And it was just before Christmas they started promoting it, and it went from like $700 to $400 or something like that, which it was never more than $400. That was just their sales gimmick. So I got it for $399, and I got it refurbed because it's normally $350 or $450 or I don't know. I got $50 off by getting a refurb unit. So I got it right at Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas. Never got that thing to run. The first thing it did was I plugged it in. I mean, I did nothing. I literally plugged in the USB, plugged in the power, and the first thing it did was go, and just stove the nozzle right into the bed, and it just shattered the whole carriage. The whole X carriage nozzle, everything just blew apart. So I called them up, or emailed them. They're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Ship it back to us. I said, no. I'm not paying to ship that freaking thing back to you. They're like, well, what'd you do to it? I said, I didn't do anything. I have not even installed the software yet. It's not like I did anything. I literally plugged in the USB, turned the power on just like you say, and it stove into the freaking bed. And they're like, well, they're like, all right, well, we'll pay to ship it back. Send it back to us. We'll double check it. So I had to wait a month. And they're like, yep, you're right. Something was seriously wrong with the board. We checked it out. We're sending you out another one. Well, they sent me out the same exact one with a new board in it. And they just kind of like snapped together the head again.
Yeah.
They replaced a few of the actual broken parts. But the whole, and I don't know, I'm sure you remember that the X carriage was toothed.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber piece of crap. Well, it was all cracked. I mean, I never even plugged the thing on. I looked at it and said, there's no way I'm accepting this thing. Because the whole X carriage tube was all splintered carbon fiber. There's no way that head was going to move securely and solidly. And they're like, oh, yeah. I took pictures of it. And at that time, I started bashing them on everything. They're like, well, all right, well, send it back. We'll give you another one. And they finally gave me a new one. Well, somewhat of a new one. There's no way they rebuilt that because I got it back too fast. It was like 2 weeks. But we're into March now. I bought this before Christmas, and we're into March now. Before I got one that could run it all. And then I spent I'm sure you must have done that the little circle with the quarter to make sure you can get round circles. The backlash adjustment. Did you ever do that with it?
No,
trying to get it to turn around.
Thing that I even did was the not IKEA, Aldi little coin.
Well, they had a backlash setting test that you could do. You went on their website, that, you know, because where it's all gear driven, it wasn't belt driven. It has wicked backlash because of the whole head's moving back and forth on carbon fiber rods. Stupid. Anyway, I went through a whole roll just trying to get that backlash. Never got it very good. I then printed a half a dozen really bad things. And a friend of mine from out on Long Island, what's up, Minnesota? A friend of mine from Long Island said, "Oh, I really want one." I said, "Well, I'd really like to get a little bigger one. I'm already out doing this thing. You want to buy this off of me for a couple $100?" It's like, sure. So he gave me $200 for it, and I bought I had $50, and I bought the Max Micron for $250. Not really knowing what I was getting. I bought it. It was expensive. It was actually cheaper out. The A-nets and everything were cheaper. But I bought it because it was an all aluminum frame. I'm like, I know I don't want acrylic. I do not want an acrylic frame. I studied and looked, and I don't want a plastic frame. So the A-nets were like right around $200 at the time, and that one was $250 to $300. So I said, all right. I was almost getting a dual head because they make a dual head of that. They still sell it, but it's all aluminum. So I just got the single head. Oh my God! It took me like 3 days to put it together because I had no idea what I was doing. Oh my God! The first print off of that thing, I was like, "What the hell have I ever done with that little micro thing that I paid 3 times as much for?"
Yeah, I ended up. I think I got like the Kickstarter deal, and it finally shipped like shortly after, and then I went out and bought like couple rolls of filament. Had the flexible and regular black, and I was trying a few little things. And weirdly enough, I mean, I still have one of my flexible prints from way back.
I got it.
Horrible, but
I gotta say, their flexible filament is one of my favorites, and I gotta find out who makes it for them because I know they don't make it. I think it's Saint Smart that makes it for them. I don't even know if Saint Smart's a manufacturer, but I like it. It works good. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but it is one of the better flexibles. I like the stupid little rolls that are only $18.
Yeah,
because it's more expensive. I mean, flexible is expensive anyways per whatever. Yeah, but I'm spending more per gram, but I'm getting these little rolls, and I can get for the same, $50 or $60 you were paying back then for a roll of flexible. Again, it's not that much now, but back then it was $50 or $60 for a regular kilo of. I can get 3 little rolls with 3 different colors, and with flexibles, you're not printing big things out of flexible. You're printing little crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I always print my all my quadcopter crap, and it's all little itty bitty pieces and landing gear feet. Those little rolls last me a year. So I don't want to sit on the big roll. Didn't want to, and I still order their filament every once in a while. I get it through B&H. You know who B&H Photo is? Oh, you should go to B&H Photo. They carry a lot of, if you're into the electronics, like all these mics and everything.
I need to get a like moving arm setup kind of a thing.
Well, I actually got this mic. You should do this. Do you ever go to Amazon Warehouse?
No.
Do the Amazon Warehouse. I literally have it as a bookmark now, and I just search it every once in a while. I got this mic, which is a pretty nice mic. It's almost too sensitive. It's just a standard USB mic. It's about $70 or $80 to buy it brand new, and I got it because it's pink. You can't see it because of the guard, but it's like a purpley pink. And the blue, the white, and the red are all like $70, $80, $90. The same exact thing. The pink one was $19.95 because it was pink. No one wanted the pink one. It's like, who gives a crap what color the frickin' thing is? If I don't like it, I'll paint it.
Yep.
Wrap some tape around it if the color bothers you for frickin' a third the price. Oh my God, so much stuff I've gotten off of the Amazon's warehouse and B&H. I got this at B&H. It's normally like $200. I got it for $98. And I actually got 2 of them because FedEx screwed up and shipped it 2 miles down the street. That's how, I don't know if you know how Fun King got the camera and I got this.
Yeah, I heard about the story the other night.
Because I got 2 of these now. They bought the Sony I gave him. And I mean, the Sony's actually a better image quality than this, but it's so minor, it's not really that big a deal. But the file format doesn't, it's just a pain in the butt. When you're working with a Mac, it's all this ACHD, and you have to use Sony's thing to access it. And even when you pull the card out and I was hoping I could just put the card in my computer and it would read it, and it does. I mean, it reads it, but you got to go through. You can't just download all the files at once. You have to go to each one. You have to open it. Then you can download it. Then you got to go to the next one and open it. Then you can download it. Where on this, I just plug it in and I just grab them all and drag them to my desktop, and boom, they're done. So I didn't like that. It was actually a better image quality. Ordered this from B&H. FedEx delivered it a mile down the road, not to my house, not even close to my house. I mean, in reality, it's not. It's like way down there. Called them up a week after they said it was delivered. I'm like, dude, it never got delivered. They're like, okay, well, we'll do a research, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's not here. I've gone to all my neighbors, local neighbors, because it happens. I'm in a kind of country area, even though it's a beach town. I'm in a swampy area, so there's less houses. So I went to the 3 or 4 neighbors, checked, nobody's seen it. So a week later, like, all right, you haven't got it, we'll send you out a new one. They sent me out a new one. All of a sudden, I get this phone call. This lady's like, are you Thomas? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, well, we were on vacation, and it snowed, and we came home, and there's this box on our porch with your name on it. These people live like 4 roads down and, down there along driveway and all this stuff. She's like, I don't know if it's any good. It's been out in the snow, but if you want to come get it, come get it. So I go there and I get it. And luckily they put it in a plastic baggie thing, which had ripped a little bit, but it's in a plastic bag. Then it's in a box. Then it's in its own box, which is also in plastic. So I took it out and I checked it out. It works. I mean, that's the one I'm using. I actually called them up before they shipped the other one because it took them a couple days to ship it. I said, don't bother shipping it. I have one. Keep it on record. It was out in the weather for a week, but it was found a mile down the road. I called FedEx and said, don't put the claim in, because FedEx was actually paying for it. Don't put the claim in. Don't ship it. I got the unit. 2 days later, I got to the other one. I was like, you know what? I'm keeping it. I went out of my way to deal with their crap. I tried to tell them not to ship it, so I got 2 of them. Which I wanted to.
Back when I lived in Florida, I had ordered one of the 48-inch super power boats that you can, little RC boat.
Yep.
I'll say little, but it was huge. I ordered one. It said it delivered. Didn't have anything on my porch. Put the claim in, did all that. They sent another one. And when the guy dropped it off, he goes, wow, why'd you order 2? I'm like, so you're dropping off the original and I had already gotten another one? Like, all right, whatever. I guess if everything is good and the claim's good, sure.
Oh, wait, he dropped off both of them at the same time?
Yeah. It was like a 2-week difference. So I don't know where it was staying for 2 weeks. But they had marked it as it was delivered. And then he drops off both of them. And I was like, all right, sure, that'll work.
Sure, why not? I mean, I don't like to rob them. People make mistakes. I make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean,
I tried to go out of my way and get them.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
I tried to get them to stop the
did it just like get lost? And they said no. It marked as delivered and everything. And I was like, all right. 2 weeks later, there it goes. Okay.
So what are you guys all doing? Who's in the chat? Not really showing anybody in the chat. Nobody's chatting. Participants. Just says me. It's not even giving me. It used to read out who. It used to read out who, amount of people. It's not even doing that anymore on my screen. I don't know why. Who's still here? 3D Viking, Printing Viking, and Minnesota Maker. I'm assuming you guys are still here. They just come on and leave it running in the background. I think they do that at like the radio. Yeah. Listen to me blabber.
But you said you did already try the the ANET entry in the Marlin, and it still didn't want to.
Yeah, I actually took the ANET X2 or something like that, which is their large format printer with that screen. I did a whole bunch of research, and I took their. If you go in the examples when you go into Marlin, it's all pre-done.
Right.
I just took that and dropped it in there, and then did what I had to do to make this board work on it, but the screen still won't work. But like I said, this board is so old. That's the one thing I do have to change. Is right in the beginning, you have to change the board. What's white noise? Yeah. Oh, we're white noise. Yeah. I don't think this board literally will take that screen. I don't think it will do a full graphic screen. It's an old board.
Is there any way that you would be able to?
I'm just gonna get a regular cheapo.
Yeah.
I've been looking at them. They're like $5 or $10. I can get them for $5 if I wait, or I can spend $10 and just get a regular, what is it, 2004 Rip Rap discount monitor, or, LCD, whatever they are. Same thing that's on the Max Micron now.
Yeah.
Just your basic little. That's all I need. I use the Pi for everything.
I would love to figure out if. Yeah, because this one's just the Rep Rap discount smart controller. It says it's by Tree Tech.
Yep.
This was the original one that was on my
that's the same
Plus. I would love to figure out if there's a way to almost repair like 4 pixels without like a lot of work. Because otherwise, I'll just get a new one. But
just get a new one. It's like $5 or $10. If you order it from China, it's $5. You get it from Amazon.
The issue that I have is the Monster Delta, the K280. I bought a touchscreen, hoping that it would work and everything, but it's not getting the feedback correctly. So, like when I did my safety of beep to deploy or stow the probe, because it's that little tiny foam thing. Well, I hear the beep, but nothing would go on the screen at all. It's not getting any feedback from it or Octoprint, but it'll show up on the original screen. So I still have to have this connected every now and then. But I was like, well, crap. I shorted out for the little pixels. They come on power up, but they won't stay on. But
holy crap! Nightbot just did a buy me a coffee. Is that for me? I never turned that buy me. I set up buy me a coffee, but I never give it access. And then one Raz, hey Run Raz, says coffee, I need a coffee, and then Nightbot came up and said buy me a coffee. But I set it up, but I never gave it access. I never gave it, whatever, permissions.
Well, you would have had to way back to get the wrench on it. It's a mod in your channel.
Yeah, well, I set it up as a mod. I set everything up, but I just told it not to work. If that makes sense. I just told the buy me a coffee thing to not do anything yet. I never actually turned it on or whatever. It's never worked before that I remember. Maybe it has, and I just didn't know it. Whiskey, I need whiskey. No, I got Cabernet. You don't drink, do you?
No.
That's probably a good thing.
I kind of burned myself out in high school time frame, and then after that, it just never really became a thing for me anymore.
Yeah, no, that's why I do. This bottle I opened just after Christmas. And it's still, that's how much I drink. I drank more New Year's Eve. I don't know. You didn't watch my New Year's Eve stream. Me and Shom and a bunch of people did a drunken, stupid New Year's Eve stream. And I drank like a bottle of rum and 2 bottles of wine or something all by myself. I was twisted.
Was that the same one that got auto-deleted, or that he wanted to make sure that got auto-deleted?
Well, I ended up deleting it because the next day we were laughing. I got up at like noon the next day, majorly hungover. Got on my computer, checked my email, and there's like literally like 500 emails, all from YouTube, going, copyright infringement, copyright infringement, copyright infringement, because we were like playing music and swearing and referring to stuff. And I wanted to go in there and edit it out and just do some highlights, because like Matt from the Mind of Matt, he was in his like snowman's pajamas on the stream with us, dancing, half drunk. He got drunk too. Not bad, not as bad as me and Sean, but he had a buzz on. And normally you could download it and edit it, edit all the crap out. It had so many strikes on it and restrictions, YouTube wouldn't even let me download it. It said it gave me some excuse, heavy restriction or something like that. I was like, all I want to do is get all that crap out of it. Oh, well.
I ended up, weirdly enough, since you were talking about the copyright infringement, I ended up getting a strike on a video that I recorded almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, just out of the blue, all of a sudden it goes, oh, yeah. By the way.
Well, it depends on who's researching it. Some of the record companies or whoever, would they give you the strike for? Music or something?
Yeah, it's music.
Yeah. Some of the companies have auto sense with YouTube, and they got to pay for it. And some of them just go on once in a while and do a search, and see who's playing it, and they find you like a year later. Because it used to be I signed, because I've got like 4 channels depending on what I'm doing. I got one for mountain biking, I got one for my personal, I got one for my quadcopter, and then I got this 3D printing. And the quadcopter one and my mountain biking one, back when I started them, there was such a fight over the, copyright infringements, that there was a bunch of us that got up a thing, and with like 3 of the record companies, we said, look, we'll sign off on it. We're not trying to make money off them. If any money's made, you get the ads. And the 2 things we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the sound quality is not recordable, thievable. In other words, like my quadcopters, I always make sure the quadcopter noise is in it, so it's not a good quality. And we have to tag the music. In other words, we have to go in and say, this song is Jethro Tull, album here, go buy it at Amazon. Or so if you're watching my quadcopter videos from way back, they all have the title, where to go get it, all that built right into it, plus in the links. And if you did that and you signed off on it, they'd let you use it. You could use copyrighted music. They've stopped all that. I could still do it with some.
Yeah.
But a lot of the record companies, and it's so stupid because it's like free advertisement for them.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you're watching some of my stupid quadcopters fly around, you're like, wow, I forgot about that song. I really want it. You're going to go and see the link, and you're going to go, yeah, I'll go spend 99 cents at Amazon or iTunes and download that. I mean, it's just making them money. I'm not making money off it. I never wanted to monetize it. You signed a sheet that says I will never monetize this. I'm not out to make money. I just want the music behind there for entertainment purposes. What's up, Wiley?
A song set that was on the my outro little credits page, and I had gotten the song from the YouTube free music, no hit little thing that you can get, and then I had it on like quite a few videos, and then all of a sudden I got hit. Like all of those videos that had it on there, they said, well, now they're going to claim that now you're doing it. I'm like, but I got it from you where you said it was royalty free, where I wouldn't have to worry about hidden strikes or anything. They
closed all that.
Delete, because it was only at the very end of it anyway.
Yeah. It's just stupid. It's free advertisement for them. I don't know what the issue is.
Because I even went so far as I put their album picture on the video as it's playing it to do my credit. So it's like I'm showing you exactly who it is and everything from their, like, all right, if that's the game you're going to play, then I'm just going to remove it completely.
Well, they look at it as, oh, you're trying to sell your channel with our music. And it's like, no. We're trying to sell your music on our channel. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm getting the dinner bell call.
Dinner bell? Oh, yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, my dinner bell.
I eat dinner at like 5:36 now. I got old people. They're in bed and probably asleep already.
I got to get the kiddos fed and taken care of. And and then get the repairing some more stuff back here. Finally got the power supply back in for the printer, so I got to make sure it's all hooked up and then rerun the test.
Yeah, I kind of want that screen to work just because it fits in that box so nicely. I'm going to just print a new box because I got that thing so beefed up. Did you see where I have a 35 millimeter extension so I could use that power supply?
Mine, actually, I don't know if I can get it screen very well. So the E10 has no control box, and everything is bolted underneath.
Oh, to the table, yeah.
And I mean, I've got the case for the motherboard and everything, but yeah, it's the double power supply, the Pi, everything is all up underneath, so I can.
Does that thing have the same thing like this? Because I don't get it's got the 3 aircraft connectors, and then the Z and the bed are just wired through the box. So
on mine, doesn't include any aircraft connectors. It was all just pushed through that little grommet hole in the back of the control box.
Really? This has got 3 aircraft connectors, so you can unscrew them and disconnect it. But then all the Z and the Z end stops, the Z motors, and the bed are all hardwired.
That one, I think they took a refurbished CR10 and was like, yeah, we'll do this. Oh, crap, we got more wires we got to go in. We don't have the connectors. Let's just shove them in there.
But just add another aircraft connector. I mean, the hole's there. It's the same size hole.
You'd think, but,
Oh, that's it. I forgot. You'd have to think.
That's one of the key reasons.
This thing is just really... I could see, I mean, at first when Glenn was like, oh, this thing's horrendous, I was like, yeah, you just don't want to screw with it. And no, it's pretty horrendous.
Well, I mean, you think about it, this long of even, I mean, granted, it's the front runner. It's not the only one, but the front runner of having, thermal issues. You'd figure after this long that even the box, like not the new ANET A8 Plus, the bigger one with the extrusion frame, but the original one, you'd think after this many years, they would have just made that little tweak to factory firmware to just enable the firmware or the runaway.
Well, it is. It's on the firmware I have.
Oh, it is? Nice.
Yeah. If you use the examples, you download Moreland. If you go into the examples and select
no, not the Moreland one. I'm talking about their Omni, like their custom version that they put on there. You'd think after like all this time of being the front runner of, hey, there's this thermal issue, there's this runway issue, it's burning down this house. Like, why would you just do that little tweak?
Their stock firmware is in the examples now. If you open
it from the factory.
Like, yeah, but that's their factory install now. Granted, it wasn't, but it is now.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not going to get the nozzle X. I got the nozzle Y or whatever on that. Actually, no, actually, it's on that one because I put the 0.6 on there. I got because they were those one before the X that never actually got released. The prototypes, they had a couple hundred of them. They were handed out at Earth, and I have it on the Max Micron way over there that you can't see on the floor. It's good enough. It's just a standard steel nozzle with a coating on it. I don't. If I were gonna run carbon fibers and polypropylenes and all that kind of crap through it, then I'd think about getting a Nozzle X or a Ruby. But I run PLA and occasionally PETG. I don't need any of that fancy waste of money for me. It's just like a mosquito. I would love to have a mosquito. I almost bought one when I was at Earth, and I thought about it and said, why? What do I need it for? It's made to do super temperature, filaments and stuff that I'm never going to do. What do I need it for? The stuff I have, but everyone beats on the old MK8. The MK8 is by and far the best PLA TPU hot end ever. It's better than an E38. I have an E3D right there. I have an MK8 and whatever the hell this thing. This isn't even an MK8 or an MK10 on that, but the MK8 is by and far the best PLA hot end out there. It just works. Yeah, there's just no. I mean, if you're gonna run,
I want flexibles myself, and that's only a brand new thing that I'm trying. But yeah, same thing. I only run PLA and PET-G.
Yeah, and I do very little PET-G. I have 2 rolls of it. That's it, and that's all I run it on. I won't even. It runs on that, but not well. I haven't tried it on this thing yet. Although I am doing HTPLI. This thing's running 230 right now. It is not under extruding anymore. That is for sure. I didn't realize the ANET AAB or A2 or whatever it is that I use for the firmware has geared stepper motors. So the steps per inch or per millimeter are larger. Normally these things are all set at 80. And it was set at 100. So I went and print this thing, which is my end stop switch modifier. And this is supposed to be 20 millimeters, not 38. It was kind of doing large steps. It was kind of going big. I'm looking at it going, God, it's still under extruding. I'm going, no, it's not under extruding because that's way too big. It's just going too far per movement. I'm to find out, yeah. It was going way too far per movement. And this thing's still pretty solid, so it's definitely not under extruding anymore.
Did you ever get the OBS thing figured out?
No, I haven't even touched it since. You know, it irritates me, and I know it's just something stupid I did, but it irritates me that I literally spent probably a good hour and a half setting it all up, making sure everything worked so I could have. I had 3 cameras. I had my camcorder set up to the computer. I had this camera set up to the computer, and I had the Pi camera set up in a window with OBS showing the window through the Pi. So I basically had 3 cameras showing, and I tested it all. I streamed it all. You know, I did a private little stream just to make sure it was all working. Everything was working beautiful. I was like, cool. That way, if I smoke this thing, we could be like Wiley and everyone can see it. You know, they'll see the smoke pop. I honestly had a like a 50-50 feeling of it going up in smoke. And of course, when I went to fire it up, nothing connected. YouTube was saying no connection. OSB was saying no connection. OBS, whatever it is.
I used the Streamlabs like light version of OBS, but even then, a couple times, like I do the same thing, check it all out, got everything working, shut it down, then start it up about an hour later, ready for the stream. Oh, but now you need an update all of a sudden, and now that it's done, nothing is wanting to work right. Like,
yeah, you need to the license keying thing. It's something stupid that I'm just not getting. I thought you put the key in and it identified you to YouTube, and that was that. Now, all this time, you can redo the same stream over, but if you're going to do a different one or rename it, it's got to change the license key or some crap. I have yet to figure it all out. I'm just not that geeky to bother.
Sometimes I get a little too geeky and I over bother with it. Drive everybody nuts.
Yeah, well, I get into it once in a while because I'm one of those that once I start and it pisses me off, I have to beat it. I just don't care that much about that particular thing. This is fine. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That thing is so freaking loud. It's coming right through my headphones like nothing. It's coming through the mic, right?
Oh, yeah. Like right now it's quiet, but every now and then, yeah, it'll pick up and you're just like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible until it goes to do a movement. And I actually did it. I cut its movement down to 70 millimeters a second. Because at 100, the whole thing like shakes. And I mean, it defaults to 150. I was like, wow, no way. I don't care how much longer it takes for the print. I can't listen to that thing moving at 150. It's just too loud. Especially the bed. Oh my God, the bed is so miserably loud. The bearings on that thing must be bone dry. Tell you what, that's the other thing. The bed's nowhere near 40 degrees. Yep, TMCs. I would love to get a Duet Maestro board. Won't give M3D any money. That was a big mistake on Duet partnering with them. That kind of made me feel not good about Duet. All the printer companies that went under, M3D is one of them that should have by now.
Yep. Well, sir, I think I'm going to dip out and go ahead and finish up dinner time here.
Dinner time?
I'll probably just hang out and catch the rest of the stream here.
Go get your dinner.
Have a good night.
See you, man. Anyway, well, that was fun. Who else is still left in here? This thing's not telling me how many people anymore. I don't know why. It used to tell me how many people are in the watching the stream, and there's no number indicator anymore. It says links. I wonder if it's because I'm using Brave. Let's fire up Chrome. Yeah, get in there. Turn the speaker off. It says 7 watching there, but it's not feeding through to the chat anymore. Yeah, it used to be right here in the chat. I mean, in the Hangout window, it used to say how many people are watching by the link. But it could be because I just started. I don't know if you guys have seen this Brave browser. It's just another browser. I tried it when it first came out in beta, and it's pretty good. I actually like it. It loads things like Thingiverse like unbelievably fast. It loads YouTube really fast too. It's basically got like built-in ad blockers and stuff. But one of their things is they get paid for the ads. And you can allow ads, and you get paid to watch ads. Or you can start your, like, if I wanted to take this on YouTube, I can actually, instead of having YouTube do it, I can set it up to the Brave browser that if anyone's watching it on Brave, they can choose to watch the ads that Brave sends out, and I get paid a portion of them. Supposedly. I've never set up that part of it. It looks interesting. It's really quite good at loading crappy websites. It was really buggy. I first got it when it came out in beta. Oh, God, like beginning of the summer, back in July, I think it was. June or July. I had it for about a month, and it got real buggy, and they kept screwing with it, making it worse. And then they just did a major update and refix. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, I tested it a while back too. It's much better. If you tested it before and you had problems with it, it used to lag all the time. It would load like Thingiverse really fast, and it would lag. And like I could load like 10 pages in Chrome or Safari, and Brave wouldn't load one of them. Now it's just like zip, 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 zip. I've been using about a week now, maybe 2, and I'm liking it. The more I use it, the more I'm liking it. Yeah and no, one raz. It doesn't actually come out to twice as much. It's actually a little bit more because you have all the travels. It's not just the time it takes to print said line twice as much. It's the moving back and forth to area A to area B to area C. And when you do smaller, there's usually more travels. So it ends up being more than twice. So if it's 10 minutes instead of 20 minutes, it might actually be like 25 minutes. Now, if the slicer's working right, it could actually end up being 10 minutes to 15 minutes if it sets up and still fills the same amount of area with only one travel. It depends. But in general, yes, it doubles the length of time. It's right around there. It kind of depends on the slicer and how the slicer handles the smaller nozzle and travels and all that crap. Yeah, you really don't want to go to a 0.2. It's kind of unnecessary. I've actually been going bigger. It's got a 0.6 on it, and I think with this thing, I'm going to put a 0.8 on it eventually. Yeah, going to a 0.6 on this, I had a couple of prints that took 8 hours with a 0.4. I put the 0.6 on it, and it went down to 3.5 hours. An idea maker is pretty darn close. It's not exact, but it's usually within 15 minutes or so on a 5 to 10 hour print. As long as you set it up right, you have to tell it all the accelerations and all that crap. Quarter after 8. Yeah, it's worth looking into again. It works pretty good, 3D printing Viking. I'm liking it at this point. Again, when I tried it, again, I think it was August or June or July, the beginning of the summer. I tried it last time, and I liked it at first, and then, like daily they were updating it because it was still beta and brand new, and they were updating it constantly. It just got more and more screwed. Yes, I am an idea maker fanboy. You better believe it. The more I use it, the more I'm liking it. It just does so much better than all the other ones put together. Cura is a very close second. I don't even have Simplified 3D installed anymore. Just don't need it. This Idea Maker does everything it needs. How's it going over there, Mr. Loud Obnoxious Printer? I think I'm going to rename it to Loud King. Because it's freaking loud. Very, very loud. You haven't tried what? Idea Maker yet? You should. What do you use? Slicer or Cura or Simplified 3D? A Craftware. I wish Craftware would fix their crap because that would be a good slicer. Oh my god, it's like, for one, it looks like a 3-year-old child's toy. They're mismatched coloring buttons, just random colors. New Maker definitely has some. My biggest thing is the interface is too windowy. There's too many windows to get to anything. You gotta constantly keep opening windows, more windows, more windows. You gotta close windows. And every time you want to close the window, and then another window pops up asking if you want to actually close the window. Yeah. If you're using S3D, you should try Idea Maker. It's very similar. Interface-wise, it's a little more of a pain in the butt. It gives you a better print in the long run. Idea Maker is definitely... S3D gives you the worst print. People don't realize it. It looks pretty. It's structurally unsound. It is by and far the worst structural printer slicer there is. Just does not, it does not attach infill to circles and arcs correctly. It always thinks in straight lines. It doesn't know how to do an arc correctly. It doesn't attach them. Whenever you look at the top, if you look at the top face of an S3D, like right around here, you can't see any gaps. Every time it would come across and do the infill and then move, instead of following the arc, it goes straight. So you have these little triangles missing all around the infill attaching to the shells on the circles. Could it be what it's sitting on? It's making it loud. Oh, that? No. Although I don't have it on. I usually put it on like mats and shit. It's not a mat, but no, it's loud. It's just loud. It's very loud. The Max Micron was loud, and this is louder. And it's just, the bearings are just dry. The X carriage is fine. I mean, it's a little, you get motor noise, but it's not terrible. But that X or the Y carriage, the bed going back and forth, oh my God, that thing's obnoxious. Did you just hear that? And that's not the motor noise, that's the bearing noise. What's up, Lightspeed? I want you to change your name. Do you see I changed my name? I added another account. I made the Llama, the Troll Farm account. I think you should have a Stefan Troll Farm account. Give her the Lightspeed. Make it Troll Farm. I think you should do it. We'll go harass whiny. What is his name? Prototype testing, whatever his name is. Yeah, just start another account. That's what I just did. Get a Gmail, start a new Gmail account with a new name. You can tie it right back to this email. You just get booted, giving me all kinds of warnings. You must have swore. You're not allowed to swear on my streams anymore. I never set up Nightbot, right? Yeah, he is a dippy. I just came up and said I can show it. Yeah, it sucks because honestly, like everyone that talks about him, that honestly talks about him, not just harassing him, but honestly talks about him, he used to do some good videos. I used to watch some of his videos now and again because he actually had good information. Now, a couple of months ago, he started saying stuff like, PLA is the most popular filament because it doesn't absorb water, therefore making it more liable than the others. He literally said that. He said that's why it's the most popular. It's the most popular because it prints the easiest, plain and simple. It's cheap. I'm like, dude, it does absorb moisture. It actually absorbs more moisture than PETG, or like a lot more moisture. PETG is the least absorbent of all of them. ABS being a close second. PLA is way down there, and the only thing worse than PLA is like TPUs and nylons. I mean, PLA is made out of cornstarch or rice starch. What do you use to absorb more water out of silicone? When I make silicone molds, I add cornstarch to make it absorb the water to make the silicone cure. It absorbs water. It's cornstarch. That's what PLA is. And he's going on about it. And then, you know, I tried to correct him. He built the filament dryer out of a sonotube. For one, the roll just fits in it, so there's no airflow around it. He's saying how great it works. It's like, dude, it can't work well because the only place you have airflow is up the center of the tube where there's no filament. All you have is spool reel is there, so you're not. Makes no sense. Not only that, sonotubes absorb moisture. That is their job. Sonotubes have a slight wax coating so they don't just break down, but they're actually designed to absorb the excess moisture out of the concrete. So if you make your concrete too wet, the sonotube knows how wet it is by its makeup and will bleed out some of the water. These things are not water. It's like, oh, it's wax coated. Yes. Take a sonotube, cap the end of it, cap both ends of it, and fill it up with water and watch what happens. The corkscrew seam will bleed water. Every time. There's like 2 kinds of sonotube you can buy that are wicked expensive and you're not getting at Home Depot that are actually waterproof. And they're made for underwater curing. Warm banshees. Banshee and heat. You know what a banshee and heat sounds like? It kind of sounds like screaming children. Yeah, he must have a brain tumor. I mean, not joking. I mean, there must be something wrong with, because he was very level-headed and had good stuff, and he was always kind of very Mr. He was always very know-it-all-ish. But he was good. I mean, he gave good information. He was good about it. And most of his videos, if you look at his old stuff, are good videos. He did that, they were somewhat professionally made. They're not crap like mine. I mean, mine I do it with little camcorders and, he had some good information out there. He was doing halfway decent videos and they were worth watching. I learned stuff from him now and again back in the day. Stuff I couldn't figure out or I'd forgotten or couldn't remember or, he had some halfway decent videos, but then he started like coming up with these, for one, the conspiracy theories. For two, I swear he just started putting out videos because he started getting popular and he felt he needed to put them out, and he did zero research. He just stopped doing any real research. And he's just spitting out information that is not true. There's like 4 or 5 of his last videos, not even the ones with the conspiracy theories, but his actual videos, which aren't bad videos. I mean, some of the information's good there, but he keeps spitting out these reasonings and these ideas that are just based on no fact. I mean, that whole sonotube one's when I was subscribed to him up until he started doing that sonotube one. And there was 1 or 2 before that. I don't even remember what it was, but there was 1 or 2 before that I watched. I was like, no, dude, that's wrong. You're incorrect. It's well documented that you are wrong. And then he just get worse and worse and worse, and now he's like just spitting out nonsense. I don't know what's wrong with him. I swear to God, I'm not joking, and I'm not picking on him. I highly would not doubt he has like a brain tumor or something, or had a brain aneurysm and doesn't know it, or something changed the chemical balance in his head. Did he? I missed it. If you guys must have seen the picture that Prusia put on my tweet of the. Because I tweeted the picture because Filament Frenzy put up the picture and I thought he photoshopped it, in response. I thought Tom had photoshopped in, Prusia is the cleaner and comment farmer and all that stuff. And he left a link, so I went to the link thinking it was just another stupid joke. And it was real. It's Prusia's answer to this thing. Well, I reposted it and said, no, Tom wasn't kidding. And then Prusia freaking linked back to it and put up that picture with all the Prusia heads throughout the whole thing. That was freaking awesome. The only problem with that is I can't even open Twitter because I have 9 million freaking notifications now. If I open Twitter right now, there's 100 notifications or 200. Yeah, the thing I've also learned though, Lightspeed, with guys like that, you can't put him in his place by just going, "Oh, you're an idiot." If you look at my response to him to Country when Walter went on there, and he responded and said, "Hey, come visit." If you look at my response, I did not just write it. I actually was getting ready to type, and I did like everyone else. "Oh, you're a freaking idiot! You don't know what you're talking about." And I deleted all that, and I got offline, and I kind of stirred on it for a few hours. Then I went back, and I made it very proper and very clean, and just said, look, dude, you really should go on Walter. You should go watch his channel. You should do some research before you start talking about someone that you have no clue what you're talking about. And when he goes, oh, I just saw a minute or two of your video, and, that's all I'm basing my information on. It's like, well, you just proved that you're being stupid. You did zero research and then commented on someone who really wasn't promoting Walter started that whole fouet or whatever he calls it thing. It was a test. How good are the fakes? Are they worth it? He wasn't promoting the fakes. He was trying to compare it. He has a real duet. He was comparing the fake one to the real one. Dinner's beeping. Wasn't dinner beeping when you were watching Walter? Microwaved. What's up, Brian? I didn't even know you were in here. Yeah, I did. That's weird. Something's wrong. I think I'm having a brain tumor. Who knows? My closet door's open. I just noticed that. I usually like to close my closet door. It just doesn't look good. Oh, well. This was a sperm of the moment stream. If you guys haven't noticed, I've tried to lower my stream volumes. They were just getting out of hand. I was doing it like every day. And it's just not good. Yeah, but see, the problem is he's not going to respond to you because you've bashed him, and you've bashed him, rightfully so. Don't get me wrong, but you do it aggressively, where you got to learn with guys like that. You can't aggressively just bash him. You got to sound level-headed. You don't got to sound like he's just an idiot. I say we all go out and like Robbie Mac. You have to start a new account, get a Google email, and start a thing that says, Robbie Mac Troll Farm, and then NJ Printing Troll Farm, and Stefan Pro Charm, or Troll Farm, and then Minnesota Maker Troll Farm, Mr. Buttram Troll Farm. I don't know if you saw it on Walter's stream. I just started an account. It's Llama, the comment Troll Farm. That's the name. And I just started an email under it and everything. A Gmail account. And I'm going to troll him. And I'm, I don't know. I'm assuming you guys have seen Miles's response video too. I've been privately chatting with Miles because, for one, his video made me laugh hysterically, but it's rather aggressive, and the guy is not going to respond well to that. He's just going to take it as a guy just beating on him. And I'm telling Miles, you need to do this, and you need to continue to do what you're doing to him, but do it cleaner, neater, not that he can't swear, but that was just, it was funny as hell. It was over the top, but it was funny as hell. If you haven't seen that, it's an hour and 20 minutes, and it's worth every minute of your life. Miles, he's done like, here, see if I can find it. Miles is a nobody, but he really isn't a nobody. He's actually the main moderator for the 3D printing forum, whatever, on Facebook. The huge 3D printing group on Facebook. He's one of the main moderators. And only because he has the time. He has a medical issue, so he's out of work right now, and he has been for a year. So he had a lot of time, and he took over moderating. Majorly moderating. There's like 10 moderators there, but he does most of the moderating for the 3D printing. But he did a video. I think he's got like 4 videos, but he did a video responding to that. Here, I'll see if I can find it. Oh, YouTube. Subscriptions. Actually, I've never subscribed to him before, but there we go. Oh no, that's him. Let's see if I click his name. Let's bring me to his other video. Here we are. Share. Copy. Go away. Why are you spinning like a nightmare? Man B. There you go. That's Miles' video. Be warned. The guy swears a lot. He's only like 20 or 25. He swears a lot. He's English. He swears a lot in this video. Like every other word out of his mouth is swearing. And he's really aggressive. And it's an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 25 minutes. And it's just, if you know this whole, it's just funny. I mean, it's just funny. I burst. I was holding my gut for some of it. Oh, he just reams the dude constantly. Like, the whole video is just, he plays Prototype's video, pauses it, and then comments on what the moron said. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. No, I love the one where he says, oh, you have to be on where Prototype goes, you're either on Team A or Team B. And Miles pauses it and he goes, there's no teams here, dude. It's just me telling you you're a dumbass. Or no, there's no teams. It's just you being a dumbass and me telling you that you're a dumbass or something along those lines. And just the way he says it, oh my God, I just burst out laughing. You either have to be on Team A or Team B. No, there's no teams here, buddy. Just you being a dumbass and me telling you so. Who? Prototype? Yeah. He's just so. He's got 20,000 followers now. When I first started watching him, he had like 400 or 500. He was a little nobody. I mean, I think have I broke 200 yet? I don't have it up. Look and see. Did I actually hit 200 this week? I know I'm really close, like 195-ish. I know ever since I started doing the Prusa thing, I've been getting a lot of my Twitter followers has like tripled in the last week just because of my beating on Prototype and a few other things. Oh, and the catch-up stuff. 198, so I need 2 more followers. Woohoo! Like I really give a crap. So I don't give a crap. Yeah, no, he's not. He hurt himself bad. He's like, Prusa's stealing my idea. How is he stealing it? Okay, let me give you a little thing. I used to be the head leader forum control for a certain quadcopter called the Spider. Tarantula, excuse me. Which is this puppy right here. I started all kinds of forums. When this model first came out, I got one. And this was the first inexpensive toy grade quadcopter that flies like a bat out of hell. This thing will keep up with any high-end, I shouldn't say high-end, any mid-end brushless motor. This is brushed motors. It's cheap. It's a piece of crap. But the way it's geared, it's got these geared motors. It just flies like a bat out of hell. The problem is it's a really flimsy frame. So I started making these things called Frankenspiders, where I take the electronics out of this frame, and you use at the time we were using WL Toys frames. WL Toys had a stick frame that pretty much was the same layout, and I made the model, 3D printed a few parts and made the model and stuck it on the WL Toys frame. Well, that made it even more ridiculously fast because it took like 50 grams off the weight of this thing because the frame's gone. This whole body is just all weight. And it got rid of all that weight because the frame's still in there, but it's got this body. It's basically take the body off, put some carbon fiber sticks in the place of these, the arms, and you have this like super ultralight. So this flies at 35, 40 miles an hour. It's ridiculously, dangerously fast. It's insane how fast this thing flies. Anyway, I posted the Frankenspider. If you search Frankenspider, you'll see this thing. Posted it up. Did videos. I might have 100 followers. Well, this other dude comes along and says, "Oh, I've designed this beautiful thing," and he's one of these, gets them from Dear Best and from Banggood, and he's like, "Oh, I built this Frankenspider." He called it a Frankenspider, which was kind of funny, and he got like 20,000 followers and all this crap, and like he didn't say I'm the designer, but he never referenced me. I don't give a crap. It's a freaking toy. Who cares? I mean, at first I was like, wow, he could have at least referenced me. And anyone in the forums and everything knew who I was, so they didn't care. There's a few people who are like, oh, you should go after this guy. It's like, why? You know what? He's got 20,000 followers. You know what? That means there's 20,000 more people seeing my design. I don't care if he takes credit for it or not. I'm not out making money on it. I don't care. It's just 20,000 more people that might get enjoyment out of, because the big thing is you crash that thing, it's toast. You can't glue it back together. You either have to buy a new frame, which was rather expensive and hard to get from China because they always came through broken, where you built this thing out of it, or you just threw it out. Most people just throw it out. Everyone's like, oh, great, now I don't have to throw it out. I can stick this other cheap frame on it, and it's actually better. And everyone's like, oh, you should be mad at it. It's like, why? He's got 20,000 followers. That's 20,000 more people that will actually be able to enjoy and reuse their broken quadcopter. No point in I put it out there. It's free. It's shared. It's open source. I don't care. And this guy made his whatever, which, he's saying, oh, he copied it. It's a similar idea, which other people I'm sure have had. It's not like, a novel idea. There was people before him that had the same idea. So he didn't steal it from you. If anything, he stole it from the other guy who used the laser mouse thing. Not from you, you dumbass. I don't know. The guy's a little loose in the head nowadays. I don't know. He's just a moron. And there's guys that, if you go through those comments, you'll find guys that agree with him. They're like, oh, yeah, I've known all along it was like that. Or here's a guy that's actually speaking the truth. And it's like, really? Are you really that freaking clueless? The sad thing is the community has been, as a whole, we've had some issues over the past years. But there's really not been, everyone's been friendly. You see competitors, you see like E3D hanging out with Slice at Earth. They were sitting there talking, going over the stuff, sharing information. It's been a share thing. There's the few companies, Ultimaker, who make their hardware and don't want anyone to copy it, but then they release Kira, which they let everybody in the world use, and they update regularly and they take care of it. Even S3D to some extent. They're always releasing help videos, and they still have, if you go to their site, they still have one of the best like quick diagram diagnostics. If this is what's happening to your print, they got a little picture. These are the 3 or 4 things you should check. Kind of thing. It's still one of the best. Everyone's been helpful, and then this guy comes along, and he's the first one, at least that I know of, that has really downgraded the community, because he's just going to separate everyone. There's going to be the few who follow him and go, oh, here's his facts. It's like, do you not understand his facts are pointless because they're not actually facts? They're just assumptions. Oh, well, the date says he did it first. Yes. On Thingiverse. He uploaded this thing to Thingiverse. Prusa never said he designed everything. He just built a kit. He sells a kit. He designed a kit. He didn't design the i3. He designed the kit where you could buy it instead of having to go out and source all the separate parts. That's all Prusa does. I mean, sure, now he's doing some research and development, and, he's pretty much taken over a slicer, and, but, yeah, the rant tree. Anyway, yeah, on that note, I don't know, some people just read things so wrong, and you get everyone all bent out of shape. That guy just buried himself, though. I mean, he buried himself. Yeah, whatever. I mean, he hurt himself really badly. Because there are more people who respect and follow Prusa than there are people who have bought Prusas. I follow and respect Prusa. I cannot afford a Prusa printer. I'd love to get one. But if I hadn't built that, I probably would have a Prusa. Because that was my choice at the time. I either could have built that or I could have a Prusa. And I really wanted the bigger size at the time. And I wanted the experience of building one. That still came out cheaper than a Prusa. Not by much. Actually, I don't think it did. Once I bought the Duet. The Duet kind of pushed it over to Prusa, right about the same. Well, I don't think Prusa tried to be. He responded in instant. He had an instant response to the aggressiveness. And the guy's like, oh, he responded and then deleted it. Yeah, he deleted it because he got pissed off and said not necessarily said the wrong thing, but said it in the wrong way. So, yes, he deleted his response. I've done that. I've read something, got mad, and gone, oh, you're an idiot, and then gone, wait, what am I doing? That's not going to help anything. It's going to delete. You can't, it's the one thing I've learned on the internet. You cannot respond instantly in an emotional state. You have to look at stuff that piss you off, go away, come back an hour later when your head's clear and calm, and respond in a clear and calm way. That's how you get people like that. Because if you just go, oh, you're an idiot, I hate you, you're a jerk, they're going to be like, yeah, you're just an idiot too. They are cheap for the product and the support. But they do have a lot of issues. That's the other thing with Prusa. He seems to release stuff. And it's not that he's releasing. It's like anything. I mean, yeah, he releases stuff. And then there's always that new product issues. But it's true of anything. Apple, Samsung, IBM, whenever they release a brand new product, there's always that first couple of months of public access where they can test it all they want in their little closed environment. But the minute you get out into the real world, there's tens of thousands of other options that you just can't possibly even think of until somebody goes to do it and can't, or should and didn't, or add something and can't at that point, and the whole thing crashes. It's like, holy crap, we never even thought about doing that. I mean, there's just no way anyone can do that. So, of course, when you release a brand new product, with the brand new innovations in it, it's going to have some issues. It's just going to. You can't, unless you give it away to everyone and let everyone beta test it, and then take that information and build a product, which at that point you're never going to sell it because you're giving it all away already. Yeah, no, Prusa's no god. That's the thing, and he'll openly admit it. He did not design pretty much anything on his printers. I mean, he may design a certain part of it or make it fit his, but the printer was not designed by him. He designed a kit that you could buy. There's a difference. He doesn't claim the printer. The 3D printer was not designed by him. He just designed a kit. He built a kit that you can buy and made it access to the public without having to source the parts. That's all he really did, which is fine. And he improved some stuff. Correct. He made it all work together. He lowered the trials and tribulations, is what he did. He made it, I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's probably one of the most stable kits you can buy. I mean, everyone says Ultimaker or Race 3D, but even those, you can't just buy them in the box and then go, oh, look, and push a button and they work. They're close, but they're not perfect. Prusa is pretty darn close. I mean, you can buy one, and again, people have problems because either they built it wrong or, parts broken or something wasn't set up right. And I mean, we all know there's a lot to tuning on a printer. But his are they're pretty stupid proof. Yeah, I mean, in all reality, even though, what's their names, builds the, I mean, even the boards, he used the Mini Rambo board by Ulti Machine. Prusa was a big influence on Ulti Machine, on the Mini Rambo, and I mean, the Einzy board is a major influence by Prusa. It's made for Prusas. I mean, that's what it was designed for. It was designed to go on the MK3. But he didn't design it. He never claims to have designed it. He gave Ultimaker, these are the requirements I would like to have on the board. I would like this to work this way, and this to work this way, and this to work this way, and this to work. And I'd like this added, and this added, and this added. And he handed the information off to Ulti Machine and said, here you go. Please make me a board to fit this. He didn't design it. He'll never claim he designed that board. He had influence on the design of that board. He had requirements that Ulti Machine fulfilled or didn't fulfill or whatever, designed around. I mean, he has claimed slicer. Yes, he has a slicer PE. He has a Prusa edition slicer. His guys have modified it. He didn't design it. He just modified it. Just like the dude at Marlin. That guy's going out, oh, this guy's all Marlin. That guy at Marlin did not design Marlin. He's just the lead developer now of Marlin. He has taken it over because the other guys either lost interest, moved on, did something else, had to make money, blah, blah, blah. He has, basic control over it, but he's not designer and he never claims to be designer. If you watch any of his interviews, it was like, I came in long after it was already way into it. I just thought I could modify it more. He started modifying the existing Marlin, and all the Marlin guys go, wow, that's really good. Here, take it. Run with it. What printers I have? I have a Max Micron, which you can't see down there. I have this thing that I designed myself, which is the Llama Core XY, which I did design that. That is my design. It is a Core XY, which means I use someone else's base on every single part. There is no part on there that anybody else has a copy of or used or similar. That is 100% every part I designed. And then this freaking obnoxious thing over here, which I just got. Oh, I have some printers. I don't have a lot of printers. I got all my knowledge mostly out of this and the Max Micron, because the Max Micron, the day I got that thing, I started modifying the crap out of it. Here's literally, I don't think there's the base frame. And the feet. The base frame, the actual aluminum extrusion are original, and the feet. It's the only thing left original on the Max Micron. I did all the CAD work, yes. It's all done in Fusion 360. I actually started that back a long time ago. I started that in SketchUp and bailed on SketchUp immediately. I never even printed a single part out of SketchUp once I discovered Fusion, and redid everything in Fusion from scratch. Yes, every single printed part, the whole movement. Because I was the first one, and I will take claim to this. If you look at my belt paths, mine are all linear and parallel. Most of them, because I was following Tech2C when he first let go of the files for the what do you call that thing? Tech2C course. How's the name of that thing? Come on, when you guys gotta know. Anyways, when he released it, he was actually twisting the belts, and I wanted nothing to do with that. And he's like, "Well, how else are you gonna get it from here to there?" I'm like, "Just stack them." If you look at it, all my belts are stacked. Don't have them running next to each other or on top of each other or twisting. They're perfectly stacked. And everything runs parallel. That gives you absolutely perfect pull and tensions. That's how I got my tension so good on the belts, because I can actually tension my belts exactly the same, because the way I designed it, you square the whole X carriage by tension and then tighten them. So your two belts, if it's square, the two belts have to be the exact same tension. They have to be. It won't work otherwise. Wish I had a bad belt. A bad pulley. But for my X carriage to be square on that frame, I literally take a square and put it on there and square it up. The belt tensions have to be the same, because that's the biggest problem with Core XY is having your X belt and your Y belt at different tension. So when the whole X carriage will wobble as it goes down and you end up with out of square prints. Where if you let the X carriage float, don't attach your retention, whatever, whether you're using wheels or linear rails or bearings or whatever. Mine, you actually mount all your belts, set the X carriage on the frame, keep the wheels off of it, tension your belts, make everything square, and then tighten your wheels. No, I did not see Filament One has a subscription box. That's Hypercube. Yeah, there you go. We'll call it Fred. Yes. If anyone doesn't know, I'm going to do a shout out right now to Mr. Brian Vines, because he supplied me with this freaking awesome antique computer that's much less of an antique than my old antique computer. It's a 1970s Camaro instead of a 1950s it's a newer computer. It's still old, but it's newer. And that allows me to actually broadcast smoothly and actually do things. It actually works. The old one was getting kind of old. I didn't realize how old it was until I got this. I was like, wow. And I knew I was getting tired. But hey, Brian, let me ask you something. Did you ever open this computer up and change out the hard drive or anything? You got one of these? With a little safety security hole in it. I've been trying to get my hard drive in here, and I can't. Did you ever pull this case apart? Did you ever modify a chain? Put RAM in it, or well, you can't put RAM in it, but ever change the hard drive in it, or did you ever open it up? Because there's one screw. This is my third screwdriver. It's so tight I can't get it out, and I want to put my damn hard drive in there, and I literally can't get the very first thing that the Wi-Fi shield out. Because there's one screw in there that's so freaking tight, I can't. This is literally my third screwdriver I've purchased. And there's one screw, no matter what I do, and the screw doesn't strip. It literally tears the tip right off the screwdriver. And I cannot get that bitch out. It pisses me off, and it's one of the short head ones. If it was one of the big head ones, I'd just get a pair of pliers on it. It's one of the short recessed ones. I can't even get a pair of pliers on it. I'm about ready to take a drill to it. Yeah, but you can't. You can't get in there. It's the big aluminum plate. Covers the whole thing. You can't get inside it without taking the head off. It's the whole big aluminum, actually I think it's stainless. I don't know what it is. But it's the very first thing. You pop the black foot off, and the first thing you're staring at is that grate with the Wi-Fi module in the middle of. And I can't get it off. This is the third one I've said. This one's supposed to be harder than the other ones. I bought a couple of the kits. Matter of fact, I cheated one when I returned it because I kept the little plastic. I didn't have one of these. I was using a regular screwdriver, and I'm a little scared with this one because the plugs are a little smaller. But I had a couple of these, and then I just bought another one, and they've all stripped. Yeah, it's a security torque. Yeah, the round plate. It's actually a Wi-Fi antenna. It's actually the Wi-Fi antenna is what it is. Or so I've been told. The Wi-Fi module is dead center of it. I mean, I really don't need to. The thing runs pretty good, but it is holy crap noticeable without that SSD in there. Like, I've been going back and forth loading this thing up, and I don't know if you've noticed, but with the Macs, you have to plug the printer in to use Adreno or Pronterface to use the USB port. You have to have the printer up and running before the computer starts, or else it won't see the port. You won't be able to communicate with it. You have to turn the printer on and then turn the computer on. If you shut the printer off, you lose the port, and the computer won't reset the port until you turn the computer back on with it running. I don't know why. Which makes no sense. I think I can force it. I just never figured out how. No, this is like a $10 one. The last one I got was expensive too. These aren't like $2 little cheapies. These are hardened steel. This is a hardened steel, and the tip of it's like black. And I freaking snapped one of them, and the screw's not stripping. It's busting a screwdriver. Why use these things? The Bahitis. Where they showing them back? I love these. The ball end. These are the best things I've ever had. I recommended these to Glenn. Glenn just got a set because he was using the little crap ones like I used to use. And these are so much better. But I can't they don't make the security kit. At least not that I've been able to find. Bohitis, whatever the brand name is. Bohunkius, yeah. Whatever the name is. They are wicked nice. Yeah, I love the ball. And you know what, though? And I don't think they're real theirs. I bought these. Which I just dropped the drill bit out. These are all supposed to be the ball end. These are some of the, not all of them, but any of the colored ones are Phillips and all that. But these are the Bohemians too, supposedly. And there's no way these things are. And I mean, they're ball end and they're okay. But the 2 or 3 smaller ones strip out because they actually work better when you use one of these things. This is the best way in the world that I've used to work on a printer, as long as it works. This is freaking awesome. And I have a ratcheting one too. There you go, zit, 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 zit. Or you can use the ratcheting screwdriver, wherever my ratcheting screwdriver went. Oh, here it is. This is freaking awesome for working on printers or getting inside stuff. And it's just awesome. And it ratchets. I love this thing. These are expensive and worth every freaking penny. I use these at work. This is actually one I had at work. Why I got this bit in it. I've had this for like a year. And as you can see, it still works fine. Most of these, you know, you've had the cheapy Stanley ratcheting screwdrivers forever, but they always break. I mean, they never last. I use these at work for like real construction out in the field. And this is the original one I bought, and I still have it. I have like 2 more sets. I have the big one, and I have 2 or 3 of these little ones. It's in my toolbox all the time now. Love them things. Worth every penny. Those Milwaukee ones are worth every single penny. But those bits are not. Those Bohemians bits, these are worth it. Those are not. I actually bent one of these. I don't know if you can see it. I straightened it out somewhat. But I was torquing this little puppy so hard, it would not strip. It actually, like, twisted the rod. The actual rod's twisted a little bit. That's how nice they are. That's how accurate they are to the screw head hole. Yeah, the snap-on ones are nice. They used to be. I still have good old-fashioned Craftsman stuff from the 70s. That's just like, I won't let go of it. People want to borrow it. I'm like, nope. Nope. You want to use it? You can use it. You have to stay in my yard with it. It is not leaving my yard. Because my old Craftsman stuff is just irreplaceable. You cannot buy it like that no more. The Craftsman stuff they make now is crap. Although we'll see with Lowe's now. But I gotta say, since Lowe's took over Craftsman, I don't know if they actually bought them or if they're just retailing them. But now that they've taken over Craftsman, it might increase. I don't know if you people realize, but Rigid was actually Craftsman. When you used to get in the 60s and 70s and all those, when you bought a Craftsman product from Sears, it was a Craftsman, not a Craftsman by Sears, but a Craftsman product. It was actually Rigid. Rigid, the company, made Craftsman. Sears used to do exclusively with Rigid, and I guess it was, what, mid-80s, mid-90s? Mid-80s, I think it was. Sears decided they were going to put their tools out to bid. The lowest bidder made their tool instead of just letting Rigid do it. Does Stanley own Craftsman? Stanley owns everything. Yeah, I think Lowe's is the retailer now. But anyways, Rigid, when Sears told Rigid that they were going to put the Craftsman brand out to bid, let other manufacturers bid on it, and Lowe's bidder was going to make it, Rigid said, screw you, and started making the Rigid tools. If you go back and you buy the original Rigid tools, I have like some original Rigid drill presses and stuff that are just freaking amazing. Now, the crap coming out of Home Depot now is crap. But the original U.S. made, and you can look, and some of it, if you buy like the original, like I think it was 80s. Was it about 80s when Rigid started coming out with their own stuff? Anyways, whenever they start coming out with their own stuff, if you look at the original stuff, they'll say made in the USA. And oh my god, that stuff was like beefy. They're circular saws. They were the only reason we didn't like them on the job site is because they were too freaking heavy. You could get a Makita or the Porta Cable, which were just as good and not as heavy. Yeah, Sears is done. Sears closed. They closed as of at least around here. We closed all the stores here in Connecticut. January 25th. They closed everything. Company went bankrupt. Yeah, Sears is gone. Sears bankrupt. They shut down. January 25th. Yeah, gone. Now, I do hear a couple of companies are looking to buy them. I think JCPenney's looking to buy them. And the other one is Toys R Us. Toys R Us looks like it's going to come back. There's like 3 toy manufacturers that are looking to basically buy the brand name and then reopen it so they can continue selling their toys, basically. They took a big hit when Toys R Us closed, I guess. Is that who it is? I don't know the exact details. I just know it's something along those lines. Who's Jimmy Shaw? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to all that business world crap. The only thing I am a little scared of is, I don't know if you guys know or if you even care, Hitachi Tools is no longer. It's Metabo. Metabo bought Hitachi Tools. Now, they are keeping them as a separate tool manufacturer. They will have their crap like they always have, which is funny because in Europe, Metabo is like real high-end, almost like Festool's here. But here in the States, it's called garbage. I don't get it. They will have the Metabo, and then they will have the Metabo HT, and that means Hitachi Tools. Now, Hitachi has, it's weird, they have basically 2 brands on the Hitachi label. They have the good Japanese stuff, and they have the crap Chinese stuff. Most of their original chop boxes were Japanese. So if you buy like the 1013 or the 1012 or the 1213, which they still sell, that's a wicked awesome sliding chop box. You are not going to probably beat it for the money. But if you buy the Hitachi, you'll see there's 2 different color greens. There's a light green and a dark green. If it's a dark green, it's Japanese. If it's light green, it's Chinese, generally. But yeah, they bought out Hitachi Tools, which I'm not happy about. Hitachi had some junk. Their I had some of their impacts and their cordless screwdrivers, and they were cheap priced. They were $100, $150 compared to Milwaukee's $300, and Makita $250, and they were cheap. They felt cheap, and they looked cheap. I'll tell you what, they ran. They had plenty of power. Never broke. They still work. I sold them for $10. They were still working. I sold them to one of the fence guys. He was still using them. And they were a good 10 years old. Yeah, Hitachi had some really high-end stuff and some real crap. It's like Skill Saw. If you go to Walmart and you buy Skill, you're going to get crap. And it'll have a bright red handle. Whatever it is, it'll be bright red. It says Skill. If it says Skill Saw, it'll be like a maroony kind of faded part, but 90% of it will be gray, and you'll have a decent U.S. made product. Skill Saw and Skill are 2 different companies. Well, I mean, they're the same company, but they're 2 different products. Skill Saw is the professional grade. Jimmy Shaw. I know that name from somewhere. So who is Jimmy? I mean, what is he? What has he got to do with anything that we're talking about? That's all I'm wondering. I know that name, Jimmy Shaw. Open link in new tab. Share a collection of travel experiences, informational content, little bits of that, tidbits. He's not just a 3D printer. He looks more like an outright maker-y kind of do everything, kind of like I sort of, yeah. Oh, I see. I got you. He works at Sears. Well, I know they were saying they weren't going to close all of them right away. New England is shut down. I know pretty much everything in New England is gone. But if it is there, you can actually look because they had a Sears because they actually had a release. On what stores were left. Sears closed, closing soon. So the one in New York on Long Island is closing soon. The one in Bridgehampton is closing soon. All the ones in Connecticut are closed. The ones in New York are closing soon. Waterford's permanently closed. Westford is permanently closed. Colchester is permanently closed. Those are all the ones local to me. Yeah, I'm going to get going too. It's 9:15. This has already gone on longer than I originally expected. I was only going to do this for like an hour. Figure I'll give it another 10 minutes and just make it a nice 9:30 deal. Oops. Oh, wow, you really can hear that frickin' thing. I didn't even think of that. I can actually leave the speaker on because I get the headphones on. You know, it's really funny if you watch my. Why did I do that? I'm gonna leave that on there. I wanted to see how many people are actually listening. 6 whole people. If you watch my Idea Maker video, you can hear this thing running in the background. Oh crap! Did I close it? Oh no, it's still here. You can hear this thing running, and it sounds like a dog barking. It's actually this. What's up, Nick? What are you up to? We were just thinking about shutting it down, but since you're here, we'll hang another 10 or 15 minutes. What's up, Naked? Naked 3D Designs. I just like everyone else, I still read as Naked 3D Designs. Can't help it. Just can't help it. I'm going to redo this so you can actually read the Tom Llama here. Make it a little stiffer, too. I'm getting a cold. My nose keeps getting all goofy. It's not really dripping. It's just clogged. Wintertime. I do work in construction. I have worked in construction since 1979, along with a bunch of other stuff that I've done through the years. I took 2 years off when I went to college, and I took. Well, actually, I didn't. I was gonna say I took a year off when I was working at Liza Sound, but I didn't even take a year off because I did both. I was still working construction. I worked Liza Sound weekends and nights. Hell, I used to. You'll get a kick out of this. When I was in my 20s, I used to snort a lot of coke. I would work Monday through Friday doing construction. Tuesday through Saturday at 5 to midnight, I used to work at the boat distributor right down the street, packing boxes. And if I remember their damn name, you'd probably even know who they are if you're interested in boats, because they're like a worldwide distributor of marine parts. Kellogg Marine, that's what it was. I worked there for, a couple, 3 years at night. And then Friday afternoons and Sunday afternoons, I used to work at a videotape store. That's how long ago that was, for a friend of mine. She couldn't get employees to work on Sundays because that was when Connecticut was still having a iffy on making you pay your employees double time on Sunday no matter what, even if they didn't do hours. So anyone working Sunday used to get double time, which they still kept, but they just made it time and a half. But it used to be back then in the mid 80s. It was double time if you worked Sunday. Where I was a friend, I would do it and help her, and she'd pay me under the table. Because I didn't care. Oscillating clear. Gonna have to wait until tomorrow to cut the signal. What kind of oscillating cutter are you using to cut extrusion? You talking about one of them flush cuttery things? I always call it flush cutter, even though that's not actually their name, because that's what we use them for, cutting door jambs, mostly. I actually use them for everything. I just cut my brother's deck with mine. I got the Milwaukee one is freaking awesome. I love that thing. I mean, the Makita, I got a Makita one now. I gotta say the DeWalt one. I'm not a big DeWalt fan, but the DeWalt one is a nice handle. Yeah, you with the little plane, flush cutter. You using that to cut extrusions? Why? Actually, I guess the blade too big for cutting an accurate hole. I mean, there's still people used to. When I started working at the fence company, that's how we started. Everybody's got one now. They were all using. Every once in a while, you get to take a fence post, a vinyl fence post, and you got to make it like a custom end post or something. So the two top and bottom rail have to go into it. So you have to cut the hole to make the custom one. You can't just, usually they come pre-made with holes. Those guys were using jigsaws, and it's all like with the vinyl. I freaking whipped out my little flush cutter and went They're like, holy crap, that was easy and fast, and it didn't like jiggle, and it looks clean. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, jigsaw. I haven't used a jigsaw. I don't use a jigsaw for freaking kitchen countertops anymore. I use a flush cutter or a circular saw or anything. I have a jigsaw, and I think I bought it like 3 years ago, and I literally bought it at a job site for like 3 times what it was worth because there was a local hardware store down the street, and we needed something, and that's all they had that would do the job. So I went and bought it. It was like $150, and it's like a $30 freaking jigsaw. It's a DeWalt, which I'm not the biggest DeWalt fan in the world, but DeWalt is overhyped. Although they have a couple of things. The DeWalt table saw is by and far the best portable table saw out there, period, bar none. I've gone through them all. I'm trying to get rid of my DeWalt table saw. It's an old antique. But there's just, you just can't. I've yet to find anything else. My old boss, we went through 4. We bought the Hitachi. We bought the scale saw, which is a worm drive, really nice. We bought a Bosch. And I'm sorry, the Bosch is actually the worst one of all of them. I mean, it's got balls. It probably has the most powerful motor, but there's nothing more accurate and more clean for a table saw than DeWalt. I did like their flush cutter. Oscillating tool, and that's actually its name, huh? It's called an oscillating tool. It's called a flush cutter. Fen tool. That's what we all used to call them because they were the first ones to come out with them. I think it's Fen. And that's about it for DeWalt. I can't stand their cordless tools. Everyone's like, "Oh, they're so powerful." Yes, they are. They're wicked powerful for like a week. They are the shortest lasting tool ever. You're better off spending half as much money buying the new cheapo Porter cable crap that you can get at Lowe's, which Porter cable used to be a really good brand, and now it's cheap crap because they got bought out by DeWalt, who is owned by Black & Decker. They're all owned by Black & Decker or Stanley, who someone bought out Stanley. I don't know who, but Stanley actually doesn't own Stanley anymore. I'm trying to think who owns Stanley. Stanley used to be right down the road here. Back when I was a kid, the actual Stanley factory was right down the road. Cheap Harbor Freight. Oh, boy. See, that's the kind of thing. I mean, for you, it's probably fine. For me, there's a few things I have that are Harbor Freight, but I've quite often bought Harbor Freight in a pinch, like I'm on a job and either my tool broke or I didn't bring it, and it's cheaper, easier, faster to just go to Harbor Freight and get it. Harbor Freight's great for that 1 or 2 use. We bought a Harbor Freight sliding chop box, and oh my God, I couldn't even use it. We went. I didn't want to drive all the way back here to my house to get my chop box. I don't remember where we were. We were good, like hour and a half, 2 hours away. I was like, okay, it's a 4-hour round trip that kills the day. Or I could go to Harbor Freight, spend $100 or $150, just buy a crap one, and we'll use it for let the guys take it on crappy jobs out in the woods and cutting cedar posts with when we're putting up fencing. My boss was like, yeah, it's actually not a bad idea because half the time it doesn't need to be accurate. It just needs to do the job. I'm like, great. So I went and bought it. And we used it for the day. And I was just like, oh, my God. And I brought it back to the shop. And me and the boss used it like a dozen times over the next month. And finally we ended up just giving the freaking thing away. It was such a piece of junk. I mean, when you slide it, it's a 12-inch sliding chop box, or a 10-inch, not 12-inch. That was a 10-inch. You slide it, and the bearings are all like clunk, 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 clunk. It was really bad. Yeah, see, that's what Harbor Freight's perfect for. If you're not using it every day, all day long, the homeowner grade stuff, Harbor Freight is fine for it. If you're gonna, you're gonna buy a cordless circular saw and you're gonna cut, a dozen studs a year, fine. Harbor Freight is just fine for that. People rank on people buying it. It's like, you know what? You're not using it every day, all day long. It's fine. I bought all Porter cable. I bought all Hitachi, the cheap crap. And my Porter cables actually lasted a while. Again, Porter cable is now garbage. They used to be back in the 80s and 90s. They were high end. Oh my God. I have my Porta-Cable left-hand skill saw, circular saw, which I will not release. Nobody is allowed to touch it because it is by and far the best saw ever made, period, bar none, and it's a lefty. I'm left-handed. And this thing is freaking awesome. And you can't replace it. They're selling now on eBay. I saw the left-handed Porta-Cable skill saw from the 90s, early 2000s are selling for $300 and $400 used, abused parts because people don't want to let them go. That is the best skill saw ever made, period, bar none. Although I gotta say, we just bought some skill saw, not skill saw, hand saws, real circular saws, 7 1/4, and they're pretty nice. They're darn close. They're not as good as my Porta-Cable. They're not as accurate. And my Porta-Cable is ancient, and it's still more accurate. The freaking blade is perfectly true with the bed. The bed is just square and straight and flat. And the thing's antique. I mean, it is an antique. And it's light. It's all the magnesium body. Yeah. But Porta-Cable now is crap. And I've bought a lot of Porta-Cable. And they last okay. This summer, I converted all to Milwaukee. Or, not all Milwaukee. I've got some Milwaukee, but mostly Makita, I should say. And oh my God, the difference is night and day when you use it every day. The Makita is just so much nicer. So much more powerful. The batteries last so much longer. And I mean, I thought I was just wasting the batteries. I mean, I'd had the Porta-Cable for a couple of years. I'm like, oh, the batteries are wearing out. I'd buy new batteries and put them in there. It is good. Oh, this thing. I love this thing. This thing is awesome. Worth every penny. It's like $120. I got them on sale on Black Friday for sale. I bought 2 of them, one for me and one for my father. I got them on Black Friday this year for $79 a pop. And I use this for everything. This is they're really not main vacuums. They're touch-up vacuums. They're job site vacuums. But, oh my God. But it uses a real Milwaukee, or I keep calling Milwaukee, it's Makita. It uses a real Makita battery. It's not some cheap little thing so it wears out. I charge this thing maybe once a month with this little battery. I got much bigger batteries if I want to use them. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. I'm not going to say it's like replaced my home vacuum, although it kind of has. Because I can do touch-ups. Like, I run that thing every day. At least every day. Sometimes more than once a day. You get around stuff. I really don't pull out my home big vacuum anymore. Because I don't need to vacuum my whole room. I do touch-ups every day. Yeah, Makita and Milwaukee are my two. I have some Milwaukees too that are just. I bought the little 12-volt little tools. They're getting in those tight places, or when I'm up on staging or something, I don't want to carry a massive bag of cordless tools. The Milwaukees are pretty. They're just way out of price. The Makitas are at least reasonably priced. I will say I would probably take the Milwaukees over the Makita if I had it. They were equally priced, which they often are, but it's close. I like the Makita oscillating tool / flush cutter much better. The quick tool change is just amazing, which is why I originally went to the Porta-Cable. It's literally for the oscillating tool because they were the first one to have the quick change. Push the button and you just slide the blade in and snap it out again. Everywhere else, you had to frickin' get out the Allen key and tighten the blade down and fight with it. And then you lose the little shim board. Well, the Milwaukee is like the bolt-in. Porta-Cable and DeWalt have the quick snap. Well, Makita came up with one that's much more rugged. That was the thing with the Porta-Cables. They kept getting wobbly. The Makita has a rod that you pop the lever and you pull this whole rod out, put the blade in, and slide the whole rod in. but there's no tightening of bolts or anything. It's a quick flip, pull the rod, put the blade in, slide the rod up, put the lever down. It's locked into place. Oh my God, is that brilliant? Anyway, on that note, it's 9:30, and I'm gonna go watch some TV and then go to bed. So I'm gonna kill it. Have fun, guys. If there's even anyone left in here. Is there anyone left in here? Who's all here? It says, where'd it go? There it is. Why isn't it loading? Ah, there it is. It is loaded. I'm just grabbing the wrong window. There's 6 whole people still watching it, so it says. Well, honestly, I think wouldn't it be faster to get a little grinder and cut it with a grinder and using that? God, you really can hear that thing going back and forth through the videos. It should be done by now. Oh, it's getting close. It's really not that bad until it goes to do a move. And when that bed moves, it's like, that's all you're hearing, really. It's about 3 to 5 seconds. I think I got it set. I think I got it set at 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it at a 5-second delay. Oh yeah, because the wheel and then the head and everything. That's the problem with grinders. You can't, you get a 4-inch grinder, but you can really only use about an inch. Yeah, those flush cutters / oscillating tool / fang tool, whatever you want to call them, those things are just. There's so many people that keep going, why do you have one of those? What do you use it for? You use it like once a year or something for doing. Everyone just assumes the instruction to use it for door jams, which is like you use it for, when you do flooring, you got to cut the door jam. You just put the piece of flooring up there. The door jam's like at the perfect height to slide the flooring in. That's pretty much the main reason they came out with them. That I ever do, anyways. But God, I use it for everything. I mean, I'll cut boards and stuff on 1x. I whip it out, and I can cut almost as straight now with that as I can with a regular circular saw. I love mine. I use it probably. It's next to the actual circular saw and the drill or impact. I use my impact more than I use the drill. It's probably like the top 5 used tools in my bag of tools. Holy crap! It's done. Pop. Usually pop right off. Why is it not popping right off? Unusual. Wow. I must have lowered it more than I thought I did. Where's my it's here somewhere. Here it is. That came right off. Yeah, it comes right off. Yeah. That's unusual. Oh, I might have. Because I use it for everything. I may actually have been the person to tell you to try it if you had one. There we go. It would pop right off. It says blue tape is so harsh. Look at that. Blue tape. Perfect. I don't know why anyone would need other than blue tape. Really don't. I shouldn't say that because I use PEI too. And actually, I think I have a build tack sheet around here, although I haven't used it in a real long time. Here you go. There's the print off of the Frown King. And it actually looks pretty nice. Let's put my glasses on and really see what it looks like. Holy crap. And that's without a part fan. There's no part fan on it. And this is why I love Idea Maker. Those are my supports. Let's see, there's one long one here, which I don't think I'll be able to break out without getting a grip on it. Yeah, I can. I'm sorry, even Simplify 3D did not break out supports that nicely and that cleanly. I mean, look at how clean those are. I cannot do that with Cura. I've never gotten Cura to do supports well. Not that well. And you can't customize them. And they say you can. I'm sorry. The Cura anti-support block BS is just more obnoxious than it's worth. I do like Cura. I still use Cura. Although less and less and less lately because it lags like a bitch. I've never gotten as clean a finish. I mean, that almost looks, I don't know if you can see it. Let me get to that window. Can you see that? In here? There's almost no, like, support error in there. I mean, Simplify 3D does all right, but not this. This is better. I'm sorry, it just is. And it could just be my settings. I mean, they aren't stock settings. Although the supports are. I have never adjusted the settings. I have in Cura and I did in S3D, but I never have an Idea Maker. They always just worked right out of the bag, no matter what printer, too. It came out really well. A lot better than the one that's on it, which is way under extruded everywhere. I don't know if you know, but this is the mount for it. This basically replaces your standard Creality or Anet or any of those, you know, the cage. This is much, much better. And I got to say, this is actually designed by Stefan at CNC Kitchen. This air duct, both for the hot end, he has the hot end wrapped right around it. So there's no bleed down to the heat block at the bottom here. None whatsoever. And he's got this like special tunnels here on the side that lets all the air out. And there's a lot. It seems like he's restricting the airflow. He's not. It actually gets better cooling with this setup. And this is just amazing. I did not think that stupid part cooling fan that comes with this thing, these little cheapo bastards, would put out enough air to do anything. With this setup, the way he has this, you put your hand under there, it's like there's airflow. So, but the only thing I do is make it so I got more than one spot. But really, I mean, this is no cooling, and that's actually pretty good. There's no cooling. There's no part cooling on this. And this is HTPLA. That was at 235 degrees. I just printed this. Hey, Tiki Dad's back. Looking for screws and found my original MK. Oh, M3D power supply. You don't still have that thing, do you? You want to get back in here and BS? Anybody else want to get in? I'll hang out longer if people want to get in here. I'm tired of talking to myself, basically. Somebody wants to join the chat. I think I can. Oh, no, I can't. I can do this. I mean, I'll stay longer if anyone wants to join me. Otherwise, I'm going to go because I'm getting tired of talking to myself. Well, Carl, you got rid of one of those printers, right? I mean, I know you were making it for Midnight Giant. You were making one for yourself and one for Midnight Giant, but I didn't realize you built them both already. I thought you were still just building one. And you weren't started the second one. But from what I've read at the whole fair thing you were just at, you already gave him his. Yeah, it's a little crappy brick, that thing. That whole printer was just a joke. I will say, it worked. It did print. Not very well in any way, shape, or form, but it did print. And you could actually get usable products off of it. They were terrible quality, but they were usable when it worked at all. That came out really well, considering there's not a part cooling fan anywhere. I'm actually surprised how good that did come out. I mean, even here, if you look at it, I don't know if you can see it. It's like see-through. That's literally one layer wide. And it is clean and even. There's no jitter to it. I'm really surprised. It did all right. Other than being loud as all hell. Did he? I gotta like subscribe to him. I've never subscribed to him. I don't know why. Keep thinking about it and then I don't. Oh, so he's got the one you just built. I got you. So you've only built one. He just took it. Well, what the hell? All that work and you don't even get to play with it. I think I'd be hanging on to it first. Make him wait. I'm kidding. He'll get more use out of it probably than you will. I get the feeling you're more like I am. You actually enjoy building these things more than using them. I have more fun building that than I actually do using it. I'm about ready to tear it down. Maverick, I'm hoping if I can get this thing up and running really quality, and it looks like I just might. I mean, that is actually really nice. It's actually very nice. Excuse me. I like building them more than I like using them, if that makes sense. I had a blast building that thing. I'm about ready. If I can get that running good, I may tear that right down to the beginning and start all over. Not really start all over, but there's a lot of little issues, like a lot. This whole area here, down here, is just wrong. It works. It's not right. Yeah, I'm more of a tinkerer too. I like fixing things. I was very good at making that Max Micron do like way beyond what anyone ever thought it could do. Okay, I'm killing it. I gotta say, all the new fans. It's got all brand new fans in it, and they're all much quieter. They're not dead silent, but they're definitely much quieter. I gotta put my quadcopter back. Out up here. Out of the way. I haven't flown that thing in a while. I should fly it again. Just for the fun of it. It's so freaking loud. That quadcopter is wicked fast. Yeah, wicked loud. Yeah, I'm out of here. Nobody wants to join me. So I'm just going to go. I got to go pee anyways. All right, I'm off, guys. It's been fun. It's been real. I've been going way too long. How long have I been going? I was going to do this for an hour and then quit. Wasn't even do it for an hour. We're over 2 hours now. Anyway, all right. It's been fun. It's been real. I'm killing it, like right this second. See you, bye.